Hey, what's up, guys? It is Rising Random here, back with another video. Just woke up. I'm not gonna lie, definitely kind of forgot about posting, but it wasn't really that bad. It wasn't like it was a month or nothing like usually. But we're gonna get right into this. What if Goku landed on Beerus' planet? How this all happens is the same thing, like pretty much the same thing. Like, can it happens? Even the destination is the same. It is set to Earth, but it's just right before this, Beerus had like a little dream. He had his dream earlier than usual, basically saying that a Saiyan who is supposed to land on Earth will become his rival. So he gets to Whis and just basically tells Whis the revelation. Whis checks around in the universe, sees a Saiyan heading towards the Earth, and just snaps and just grabs his whole entire rocket ship, or whatever you want to call it, and ship. And he grabs his whole entire ship and transported it. Oh, sorry for God. He grabs his whole entire ship and transported it to Beerus' planet. So of course, Beerus is just he's kind of poking around Goku and realizing his power level is extremely weak. He's like, how is this thing supposed to, this baby Saiyan, it's weaker than most baby Saiyans. How's this supposed to become my rival? So Beerus doesn't really care at this point. He's like, yeah, it must have been a bust of a dream. He sends him back to Earth just for a little bit, just to see what happens. And so he does. Everything happens the same as in Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, the original. Goku, lands where Grandpa Gohan is, and everything pretty much goes the same until like the not really Red Ribbon arc, but King Piccolo arc where he kills King Piccolo. Beerus has been watching him this whole entire time. He's like, okay, I can see how he grows in strength. We just need to train him. Okay, so Whis goes up here to Goku, tells him basically, oh, well, there's this being out there that can destroy your whole entire planet if he wanted to, just by sneezing, and he wants you to train with him. So if you don't want your planet to be destroyed, just come with me, you're trained, and then eventually you're like Beerus. Sorry for that little disruption, that little knocking. That's what it's called. I cannot think right now because it's too early. But sorry for the knocking. It was just basically my baby brother. He just needs some real quick. But back onto what the video was. Whis basically appears to him, tells him everything, tells him all about Beerus, and says either you can join me, or he basically made the ultimatum, you can join me or die, borderline. So, Goku joins him. He goes back to Beerus' planet. Beerus is like, I've been watching you. I've just seen you when you first got sent off from planet Vegeta. And Goku like, what? I was in a different planet? I'm an alien? This is all new to him. So he learns this much earlier than usual. And he's like, oh, wow, that's cool, I guess. And he's like, well, you were actually very weak when, you're first born. He's like, I feel like this all newborns. He's like, no, same babies are pretty strong when it comes to when they're first born. You were actually very weak. Even kind of by human standard, you were weak. And Goku's like, wow, that's crazy. And he's like, well, I seen you train, and you've gotten stronger very quickly, so I decided to train you myself. Well, not really me, but more like Whis train you. Whis, come train the boy. Of course, Whis is always like, yes, my lord. He's kind of just tired of Beerus at this point, but he still has to follow his orders. So, so there's years of training. Same type of training Goku does in canon when he gets to, train with Whis. So Goku does eventually unlock a Super Saiyan God. I was about to say Ultra Instinct, but Super Saiyan God just because he around God Ki all the time, like how Vegeta had unlocked Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue, but Goku unlocks it, and he at this point he feels like he's a pretty good strong person. He feels like he could put up a fight against Beerus, and he's like 14, 15 around the time. So, just around that age of starting to get taller. He's still kind of short. So, he tries to, straight up speed blitz Beerus. He tries to speed blitz Beerus. But, of course, it doesn't work. Goku really isn't a fight to him. He just kind of, chops Goku in the back of the neck and you have about a couple hundred more years until you're at my level. He's like, and Goku kind of takes this in stride, and he's kind of sees Beerus as his rival. So he takes this in stride, and he just continues training. And at this point, Goku, even at the age of 14, is way more powerful than Namek Saga Frieza. That's like a good representation. And Goku doesn't really get involved in nothing. He let the Kai, he knows about the Kais. He's like, well, kind of their job to do that. But eventually, them being so not really weak. Eventually, the Kai's being so complacent and not attacking nobody. We send Goku out on errands just to kind of help clean up the universe and to get their universe score higher. It's like, well, you're strong enough at this point. Go to different places, and wherever we send you, you have to kill the tyrant over there. We'll tell you who there is, who the evil one is, and who got killed. So Goku's like, okay. And he gets immediately sent straight to the headquarters of Frieza. He gets told Frieza's description, even shown. And Goku's like, okay, probably could be a good match. They heard like a lot of stories, even though he's nowhere close to Beerus. And Beerus kind of exaggerates and says, wow, he even put up a good fight against me one time. He hit me a couple times. And so Goku's really, really pumped for this. That's how, just to continue the training. So he goes to appear to Frieza's like, well, I've been sent here by Beerus and Whis to kill you, get their score up. So either you die peacefully and you just surrender yourself, or, you could put up a fight against me, I win. And he's bluffing, but at the same time, in his head he's bluffing, but he can actually pretty easily kill Frieza. But Frieza's like, I'd rather die. He says, I'd rather die than peacefully die to a monkey. I would never surrender to a monkey. And Goku's like, well, that's a new term to hear. So he pretty much just runs behind Frieza, and Frieza didn't even see him. He just taps Frieza on the back like, I think he's more powerful than this. Show me your full power. And then Frieza, does go 100%. That more muscular form that he has. He tries to punch Goku. Goku's like, this really is your full power. And he's just dodging all of Frieza hits. And then he just slapped Frieza. And Frieza goes flying out the actual hole of the... He goes flying out this ship. And Goku does, I keep wanting to say Ultra Instinct, but he goes to Super Saiyan God, steps out, starts flying out there. And it's like, well... And then he's looking around like, dang, I really can breathe in space while in Super Saiyan God. And Frieza's like, how can you breathe out here? You're only a monkey. Only I should be able to breathe out here. And Goku's like, well, it's not the same no more, Frieza. And Goku was dominating Frieza in his base form. At this point, he's an adult, kind of, like, very first episode of Dragon Ball Z type adult. So still very young. So he pretty much absolutely speed blitzes Frieza and just punches a hole straight through him, killing the tyrant. He's like, just to make sure you're dead. He pops his head off and disintegrates it. There is no Metal Frieza here. There is not going to be a Mecha Frieza. Goku made sure of that this time. So, and he goes traveling around the universe because he also had the instructions to kill all of Frieza's family. So he goes traveling around the universe looking for King Cold, which he can sense him kind of. He even sense, not really him, but Cooler, because he's canon this timeline. He goes sensing around, and he feels the power very similar to Frieza, so he kind of assumes it's his dad or his brother. Either way, he doesn't care. He just speeds towards it, and who is there actually waiting for him is, of course, Cooler, because I like Cooler way more than Cold. But Cooler is kind of smarter in this timeline. He's seen that he sees Goku is way beyond him. He kind of already sensed the fight. Well, he sensed the fight up until Goku going Super Saiyan God, since no one can sense God Ki. But he sensed the fight up until there. He realized it's not the time. I'm not strong enough to beat him. So he goes to Goku gives the same ultimatum to Cooler, where he says basically, either you die peacefully or you die trying to fight me like your brother. And Cooler says, I give you a third option. And Goku gets ready to attack. He says, and then Cooler says, I simply serve you. And I tell you where my father is, so you don't have to go searching for him. And Goku's like, fair enough. Because he's like, I can keep him in check. Plus, he could be kind of good for Beerus, just destroying planets whenever Beerus doesn't feel like it. So he's like, okay, I'll let you serve me. Now tell me where your dad is. And when I'm going to get your dad beat up, and you're going to kill your dad to prove your loyalty towards me and Beerus. And Cooler's like, gladly. Even this time on, he doesn't like his dad or brother, since Frieza was always kind of the favorite. And Goku says to Cooler, are you stronger than Frieza? And he's like, yes, indeed I am. So of course, Cooler goes into his fifth form, yep, where it's like the mask over his face. It says, I unlocked the transformation past what Frieza could ever get. Like I was saying, Cooler still doesn't really like his dad in his timeline. So Goku's like, well, Cooler gave Goku the location of his dad, the last place he know of, and it does line up with Goku's energy sense, where the other energy similar to Frieza's is. So he goes there, and Cold is just sitting there. He hasn't gotten a report. His favorite son, died. So Goku comes barging through, flicking away all the guards. Oh yeah. Goku goes through, flicking away all the guards. They see Cooler in the background with his little mask, still kind of just talking to Goku about how, I'm so much better than Frieza. He's just kind of going through his whole entire backstory of King Cold didn't really like me, so might well pledge loyalty to you. So Goku goes straight to King Cold. He's still in Super Saiyan God at this point, so it takes literally a single flick, and King Cold is already horribly beaten. So Goku deactivates from his Super Saiyan God into his regular base form, and straight up tells Cooler to go ahead, kill his father. And King Cold is begging Cooler, saying, you've always been my favorite. I wanted to act like Frieza was my favorite so you could get even stronger. Because, hardship always creates strength. And Cold is not listening to him at this point. He's like, you always preferred Frieza. You always preferred Frieza. I guess you put your bet into the wrong horse, father. And then he basically kills King Cold with a energy beam to the forehead. It pierces straight through King Cold's head, and he lies there dead. And Goku says, I'll leave you here for a little bit. I'll come back to get you, but I'll leave you here for a little bit. I cannot talk right now if you couldn't tell, but Goku tells Cooler to take control of the Frieza Force, not renamed to the Cooler Force, organize it, and basically turn it into a cop type thing, where instead they were not sending off plans, but instead simply monitoring them, make sure nothing too bad happens, and if something bad does happen, they'll simply step in and neutralize whatever threat it is, but they'll, for the most part, keep out of the planet's businesses. And if whoever planet so chooses to become a part of the Frieza Force, they can become part and send their children into training to become a Frieza Force member, or they'll get rejected and sent back to the planet that they're from. It's like kind of how the Galactic Republic was in Star Wars, where they didn't allow their children to get taken. The Jedi took them, but it's very similar to that. And so, after 4 or 5 years, Cooler, everything happens the same. Even Vegeta's alive. Cooler, tells him, well, I don't really like her kind. Her kind of proves that they're stronger than me. So, and he's like, who could have possibly done that? What Saiyan could have possibly done that? He's like, the legendary Super Saiyan must have appeared. Which, to this extent, it did, since Broly is out there. He is the legendary Super Saiyan. But he's thinking Goku is, a legendary Super Saiyan. But Cooler tells Vegeta that while I'm away training with, your kind in the higher realm, you will be here you'll sit here and you will control the universe and make sure nothing too bad happens. Your job is simply only to monitor. Do not step out of range, or that legend. He just calls him the godly saying. That's what we're just gonna go. Or the godly saying is gonna come here, and he's probably going to kill you. Since I'm going to tell him I left everything in your control. I told you how to run it. I showed you how to run it. So just do this, and you'll be good. So of course Vegeta does, and then Cooler gets sent off to, well, Goku comes down, gets Cooler, and now they're back off to, Whis' beerus' planet in a different dimension. But I'll be ending it off here, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know I was kind of stuttery and choppy in a lot of pieces. I'm just simply tired, and I'm tired right now. And it's just too much work to record it a billion times. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. Like and subscribe. Make sure to press that bell notification so you're notified whenever I post. And other than that, I will leave you guys off. Also, remember to share it to friends, family, or people, Discord servers, and Instagram group chats. Just people who you think will like my type of content. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys, have a great day. And it's Rising Random logging off.